Good morning, good morning. It's cooler today, but guess what? We missed the rain again. That's 4 days in a row at Berkey that we have missed the rain. All of a sudden it feels like we're in a dry trend. No, we're not going there yet. But it's a good thing. It means we're gonna get finished planting there over the next couple of days. Dad and I are heading down here this morning. We're taking the fuel trailer down. He's gonna run the disc. We got that one last field to disc. Hopefully Phil will be down in a while to keep planting. He did finish planting what we had ready to go last night, but it was pretty late when he got done. So, yeah, we're in good shape here. And we're gonna be a little bit patient with the rest of the corn ground down there and let it dry out an extra day maybe. But let's go get some stuff done. Putting some fuel in the fuel trailer. We don't need it full, but we'll make sure we got 300 gallons or so. And I'm gonna put a little DEF in. We shouldn't need any down there for planting the corn. The 8RX is the only thing we're using that needs DEF right now, so we shouldn't really need any, but we'll take it with us just in case, and it doesn't hurt to have some in here for later when we're doing weed harvest or something else. And this is that new DEF system that the Boss Trailers people hooked me up with and did over the winter here. Haven't used it yet, doesn't have anything in it, so we'll put 20-30 gallons in there. Get down here to Berkey. So these are the fields that we've got left here. We go basically a mile straight through here and then one across the road. These were wetter. 2-3 days ago we got more rain here than we had a couple miles east from where we're at. So I wanted to stop and check and see what it looks like. It's dried off a lot. Yeah, it's still a little gooey, it looks like.
Yeah, that's too good.
Yeah, not horrible. I think we may let these sit today and try and get over here tomorrow. We've got time, so try and give them an extra day. Well, there goes Dad. He's gonna go do the disc, and like I said, we only got about 64 or 67 acres. I don't remember how much is left in that field down there. It's the field that we've got here where the landlord has it lotted off and he's selling lots. So there's been a house built, and then there's been several lots that have been sold, but they're not building yet. So now we have what used to be an 80-acre field minus the 3 existing houses that have been there for a long time, plus 1 new house, and now we have 6 different landlords or something in it. I don't know. It's fine, whatever, no big deal. Anyway, I'm gonna fuel up this generator here. Might take some over and put it in the 8R Phil's tractor. I don't know if he'll need it or not. And then we have a diesel tank down here that I kind of mentioned we're trying to sell. It's windy today. It's gonna dry out a lot. Anyway, over there, through there, see that tank? That's a diesel tank. It's got 500. It's a 500 gallon diesel tank. There's probably 200 gallons still in it. We want to get it empty because we're going to sell that. We don't use it anymore. With this fuel trailer, there's just no reason to have it down here. So I'm going to go pump that fuel into here. It's not the fastest pump in the world, but it works. This one might take a while. All right, we'll find something else to work on for a while. Anybody want this tank? Clausen Tank Company from Clausen, Michigan. Underground tank for flammable liquids. Nothing wrong with it. It's a good tank, heavy. I assume it's dual wall since it's underground rated. Comes with a pump. $1,000. Sure. Well, it says 49. I'm not sure if that's 149 or 249, or I really have no idea how much we put in there. But we're up to between 5/8 and 3/4 of a tank now. Was down quite a bit, so we're good. Phil wanted me to bring the fuel tender over to the field where he's got his tractor and fill that up, so we're gonna take it over there. And what else? I got his tender loaded up. He took that. I was working on the planter, corn planter. I'm gonna get the boxes switched around on my tender. I might load up some fertilizer for the next field just so that everything's ready to go when we're ready to go tomorrow. Well, I've been messing around. We got fuel in all the tractors. I've put some fertilizer in there that'll do the next field. We're putting another tote of our pop-up in, and we've got seed we've got to plant out before we put more seed in. So the plant will be ready to go to the field when we're ready to go plant. Well, it's windy. It's not very warm today, and we've lost our sunshine. It was out for a while, but that's all right. Things are still drying out. Dad's moving across that field. Phil wanted to let it air out and dry off on top a little bit before he started planting, so he's just kind of hanging out here. I'm going to move this field cultivator over to the group of fields that we've got to go yet for corn. We're not going to actually do any today, but we're going to go park it over there. That way it's there for tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have a big day tomorrow and Monday. But just trying to move stuff around, be ready. Getting this out of the yard here is a good idea. I know it probably doesn't matter because it's Saturday and there's not much happening around here, but if they decided they wanted to come in and pour concrete and this was still sitting here, it's gonna be in the way. That can sit there overnight. All right, guys, we got done down to Berkey, did everything we needed to do. Dad got done discing. He brought the disc back. Phil should be finishing up planting by now. I haven't checked with him, but we came back to have some fun. Why are we having a party? Because why?
Because we have my party.
Why are you having a party?
Oh, my birthday.
Your birthday when?
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
Friday.
Friday?
Yeah.
No, not Friday. What's today?
Halloween.
Halloween. No, today's your birthday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this Saturday.
Say happy birthday.
Yeah, how old are you?
Huh?
I
don't know.
What's it say on your shirt?
1.
No. Come
2.
on. No.
3.
3. That's right. You are 3.
Yeah.
Ha!
Hello Kitty bow.
I know. You got a Hello Kitty bow on your shirt. Hey, what?
I'm gonna go in outside.
Okay, what happened to your lip and your eye? Got owies?
Yeah.
Yeah. You gonna be okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so we're having a party tonight, so we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Raylene. Happy birthday to you. Yay! Whoa!
Yay! Get closer. Almost. Get closer. Yay!
Did we take any pictures?
Look at her.
Hey, we gotta take a picture.
Good morning. It's a sunny Sunday morning here. Just got down to Berkey. Went to early church this morning, so getting here a little earlier than maybe would have. It's a little after 10 now. I don't know, we'd just be starting church normally. So Dad's been down here for a little while. He is field cultivating for us, and I just wanted to stop at the field here, see what stuff looks like, what his thoughts are. I might jump in and ride around with him for a round or two, and then we'll go get the planter. But he's got to finish this field before we can plant anything anyway, so we got a little time. Looks pretty good. There's definitely nice loose dirt. It'll plant nice. Might need a little bit of time, but it'll be a little bit of time before we get here. Alright, well, I stopped and talked to Dad on the ends here a little bit, and we are in agreement that we need to go keep things moving. It's the 18th of May. Ground's in reasonable condition. It could be a touch drier, but something we're noticing. So the ground here at Berkey is different than the ground, the soil at Waldron. When we get moisture in our ground, in the high clay content soils at Waldron and the loamy content up there, it will wick the moisture up overnight, right? So sun comes out, wind during the day, dries out the ground, and then overnight, the next morning, sometimes you'll wake up and the ground will be wet on top again after it was dry during the night. That doesn't really happen here at Berkey. For whatever reason, this soil is just different. It kind of gets a crust on top a lot of times, or it'll seal off, and it can be really gooey down 3-4 inches, and that moisture does not come to the surface. And so you really got to bake it out. It's got to get hot. It takes more time for this ground to dry out. But a lot of times what we will see is that the ground gets that hard crust on top, and then it cracks, and that crack allows airflow into the soil, right? And drying and wetting, as the soil shrinks, as it dries and it cracks and all that stuff. We're not seeing that as much this year down here. I mean, you can look at this and we've got some small cracks, but nothing really significant. And what's more interesting is, like, it's soft. I can stick my foot right in it. And it's not because it's so wet, it's just mellow. So I think there's a couple of reasons for that. One, this was wheat last year. We have a lot of residue from the wheat stubble. Two, we double cropped soybeans here, so we have even more residue from the double crop beans, although beans don't add a ton, especially double crop beans. But you can see all the wheat stubble here. We got a little volunteer wheat. Field cultivator's taking out most of that, whatever. Three, and I think this may be the biggest contributing factor that's different than what we've done in the past. This is some of the ground that I spread that gypsum on. You guys remember that last fall? We got that spreader and we had them dump a pile of gypsum over in that corner there. I'm wondering if that gypsum, calcium sulfate, helped flush a little bit of magnesium out of the soil, put a little bit bigger particles with those calcium particles, molecules, and it's keeping the ground more mellow and softer and allowing that water to drain down through it a little bit better, and it should keep it from crusting. That's really interesting. I use the gypsum mostly for the sulfur content, but if it also is known to have soil health benefits as far as reducing crusting and softening the ground and kind of flushing some magnesium out of the soil, which is a large particle sized, or a smaller particle size, and it makes soils really tight. We could be seeing the effects of that already. That's going to help out tremendously. A little experiment on the corn ground down here. So doesn't mean we can work it too wet, but it's going to help it. It's definitely going to help it. Today's Sunday. Tomorrow is Monday. Did you know that? That's how days work? Yeah, that's how days work. Tuesday, which is the day after Monday, they're calling for rain for like 4 days in a row. Soaking rain. We might get... the heck? Something stuck in a tire. We might get quite a bit of rain over the next week here. And so, it's fairly important that we get done planting by Tuesday, if at all possible. That means we got to go today and tomorrow. I got a little time to kill waiting for Dad to get that field done. Not a lot of time, but I was looking around and we got this old Farm All A in the barn here, so I thought, hey, let's get it out. We got some grass that needs mowed over there. Let's see if I can do it. About once a year I get the itch to get this tractor out and drive it a little bit. But once a year is enough. This grass is pretty tall and we have like 15 horsepower, so I don't know if we have enough horsepower to run the 60-inch mower deck that we're sitting on top of. But, let's see what happens. Alright, we got a clutch, PTO, right there. Got her revved up. Let's take it out of gear and just start the deck. Oh yeah. Okay, now we got to get the mower deck put down. What do we think? Right there. We're going to try it right there. Okay. Oh. Put it in first. Throttle doesn't stay very good. It's working. Yep, definitely short on power, but it's doing a good job. Can't make that turn. We'll go this way. It's not real maneuverable and not real fast. But it's got a lot of cool factor. Well, it's faster than a push mower, but I wouldn't want to do much that way. All right, that's done. I think we need to go to the field. put our tractor back in the barn. Good to exercise it every now and then. I think Jack comes down here and mows with it about once a month. Either the battery's dead or I don't know how to work it, because I did have to crank start it. So that was, that was fun. Anyway, we're done with that. I'm going to check my John Deere Op Center app and make sure Dad's not in that field anymore, and then we're going to take this over and go plant. Planting! Finally. It took me a while to get set up on this one. I don't know what the deal was, but it did not want to load up all my operations and everything that I needed, so we'll get started. There's Jack just pulled in. We don't have enough seed in here to plant this whole field. That's a good thing. Or, I mean, it is what it is, but yeah, we're going to plant this out, and then we're going to put in our 103-day. We'll have it side-by-side. Yeah, nothing too out of the ordinary here. All right, guys, we're down to Berkey, where we have big, square, open fields with no rocks, no obstacles. So we're running fast, and they're square. So it's a perfect place to play with our auto track turn automation. I think I got her dialed in. Look at this. All right, so you can see our line here. We'll just make that big. Green line, white line, that's our turn. I'm not gonna touch anything. Slowing us down. Raising the planter. We're turning. Don't hit their fence. We're turning. We're turning. We're following our lines. The green line's where the planter goes. Turning. We're turning. Straighten her out. Now, let's setting the planter down, and it's even coming out straight, like reasonably straight. Not bad. It's not bad. It's cool. I mean, it's not hard to do this, but it's cool. Had to get out and level my seed tanks off. We're about out of seed. We can plant a few more acres, and then we got to go get our seed tender. We are out of seed. I got to go get my seed tender, and I still can't reach this unless I fold it up and drive up next to it because of the tank. That is one of the downfalls of pulling that tank. It's harder to get seed in the planter, but it's okay. It folds up pretty easy. And I've learned this little trick where you can put it in plant mode and actually set it down. Get your seed tanks a little bit lower. Just don't plug up your seed tubes. Anyway, we'll let her sit there. My chauffeur is here, Jack, so he's going to run me back to the farm, and we'll grab our seed tender. Loading up. Unfortunately, we're back to our flat, so we're not going to plant quite as well, but it's fine. We got 2 boxes of this. They are the same. This one's not quite full. I had to scoop some of it out to finish a field back up at Waldron. I had 3 boxes of this variety, so we've already planted a little over 1. That box is full. We're just going to put the 1 full one in. We'll put half in one side, half in the other, and plant that out. I could put both of them in at once if I really wanted to, but I don't really want to do that right now. So anyway, we need 1,100 pounds in each hopper, and my fancy scale will tell me when we have 1,100 pounds. It's pretty awesome. While I was back at the farm, or since I was back at the farm and next to my truck, and it's 12:30, I went to go grab a sandwich for lunch, because it's probably the only time I'm going to eat today. Now let Dad get ahead a little bit. He's already finishing end rows on the next field. That's good, but we move fast, so now that I've got seed, we'll be able to finish the rest of this field fine. Get started in that one, and then we're going to have to get fertilizer over here. So I can go faster than he can as far as acres covered an hour while we're moving, but I have to stop a lot to fill up. So the field cultivator usually can keep ahead of us pretty good. Made it to our last pass of the field. Just did the one along the edge there. It filled in almost perfectly, although it's wedge shaped, so it'll taper down about 8-10 rows by the time we get to the other end. And we are good here, so we're gonna jump across the road over there. Dad finished that field, and then he took his truck. He must have went to go get some lunch, which is great. We'll have to load fertilizer and stuff. It's gonna take me a while to get that field over there done, but we've got seed. We've still got some fertilizer on. I want to plant until we get as empty as we can on the fertilizer side, and then debate whether I go back to the field, so go back to the farm to load up again, or do we just bring the tender over here. The problem is I can't get my in-furrow into the planter very easily. I've been gravity feeding it into the top, just using those using the forklift right out of those shuttles. Well, I can't do that if I bring them to the field, and plumbing them in or figuring out how to hook them up to my pump is going to take a little doing, so we might just run back to the farm just as easy. If I can get empty enough, we can get all the rest of the fertilizer on in one more trip. We managed to get moved across here. This ditch along the road we had cleaned out last fall, so there was some spoils and stuff. That's why you see a little color variation. There's some plastic and trash and weeds and whatever. No big deal. Dad got it leveled off good. It planted fine. So we are going to put my corn plot in this field. Normally I would do it right here where we're planting now, but I have 16 entries. It's going to be 4 full planter passes, and I don't think it'll quite fit between here and the woods. So I decided that we'll do it on the other side of the woods where we got a little bit more room. Yeah. Instead of doing it in this narrow one, we'll just put it out here on the wider side. We don't have a lane across there, but it's not that big a deal anyway. So I thought about putting it off of this side. Could do that, but it'll be easier to look at and stuff over there. So that's what we're gonna do. This should go relatively easily. I think I'm going to do another planting live stream. I promised one from down here when I did the live stream the other day, and today's my chance, and in this field is probably my best opportunity. Of course, the problem is I'm gonna have to go get fertilizer soon, so that's gonna interrupt that. I have to figure out when I want to do it. I might wait till after we get fertilizer, I guess. I think my fertilizer tank is empty. It said 0 pressure. Is that dirt line or liquid line? That's weird. Yeah, it's empty. There's a line there. That's where the level was when I quit to go get my seed tender. Weird. It's from the humic that I'm putting in. It's black, settles out a little bit sometimes. It's fine. Anyway, we still got some 2x2 or some in-furrow, not 2x2, the in-furrow, because I forgot to click the button and turn it on for the second half of the field across the road. Brilliant on my part. Whatever, it's fine. Too late now. We're gonna go back and load up. I'm thinking I should, so I post a lot of YouTube content, right? A lot of YouTube content. I'm not very good at my other social medias though. Don't really post on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok very much. I've been thinking though, if as many times as I make mistakes and screw up, I should just post all of those to my TikTok page and be like, this is why you're a better farmer than me. Because I made this mistake today, or this mistake, or whatever. I make them all the time, it seems like. Whatever. It's fine. Today's mistake, I planted 33 acres with no in-furrow starter. That's a minor one. The corn will still grow, but it's a mistake. One thing after another, guys. All right, so we got back here, and I'm hooking up my hoses, and I'm like, what is all of these little dots everywhere? Can you see that? Like, something's splashing here. Where is that coming from? And I look, and it's up there on the tank, and heck, it's on the back tires. It's all over the tongue. It's all over these row units. There, we got a bunch of oil. Uh-oh, what's going on? It's way up there. It's all over my tanks. We've got a blown O-ring right there. That may be a challenge on a Sunday afternoon, but we got to fix that. Sure enough, it's popped. The question is, do we have an O-ring kit down here that's got the right size in it? Well, no luck. I didn't find any O-ring kits. I thought we had 1 or 2 down here, but I'm not finding them. So, Tractor Supply. Tractor Supply is open. It's about 3 miles from here. We'll go try there, I guess. It's a pretty standard generic O-ring. Good news! My cousin Nick came back and I said, hey, you got any O-ring kits? Thought he might have something in his garage or something. And I don't know if he had a kit, but he had an O-ring and it was the right size, so we got that put back in. So I'm waiting on our in-furrow fertilizer to gravity feed in there. We have 1 more tote of that. It won't all fit in, but we need that tank to be as full as we can get it. So we're gonna have to get it off of the trailer here and put in as much as we can. We are loaded up, full of fertilizer. The in-furrow tank is full, like so full that I couldn't even dump the last 2.5 gallons of my biopass in. Maybe after it shakes down and by the time we get to the field, right? Something like that. And in our 2x2, we've got like 200, 150, 200 gallons on the planter tank, and then the back tank has got 1,400 gallons in it. We're full. So, should have enough fertilizer to finish planting everything. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Okay, we are back in the field, back planting. Let's go. Let's cover some ground now. So, all right, we're one more pass up to the woods, and we got some end rows to do. And then I think I'm going to throw the drone up. I just charging some batteries, so I grabbed those. And then we're going to do a live stream. Got our drone footage. Got the last of the end rows in this field done. Dad's just finishing up the next field, so that's good. Working side by side here for a second. I'm going to start a live stream, so I'll probably check in with you guys in the middle of this next field. Well, like I said, I would check in with you guys in the middle of this other field, which is exactly where we're at. We just ended an hour and 40-minute live stream. Got a little long on me, but we had to load the planter in the middle of that. We've got our same variety in with the blueprint powder on it. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. I grabbed one of the packets so I can read about it and show you what it is a little bit more. I think we talked about it a few days ago, but we'll do it again anyway. So, anyway, we've only got about 20 acres left in this field. Auto track turn automation and live streams and drone flights. Pretty awesome. So, been using that the whole field. This end rows is on a little bit of an angle from the field, and it's working really well here. I was not sure how this one was going to work, but aside from one scare with an electric pole, it's been pretty good. This field here, you can tell it's a little bit damper. We definitely could have used another day to dry out down here, but it's okay. We're getting it done. We got to get this done. We don't have another day because we've got to get back to Waldron tomorrow to plant the last field up there before it rains. So we're going to get this stuff done. We're not even going to be that late tonight. What time is it now? 6:30. I probably only need another hour to be done planting with everything we can do except for the plot. I did leave 4 passes, probably 3 or 4 acres for the plot in the last field that we were in, and we'll get that filled in first thing in the morning tomorrow, it sounds like. So Dad got done with the field cultivator. He parked it by the trees here. He was heading back home, trying to get a load sprayed tonight. He's going to try and get a bunch of stuff sprayed tomorrow, meaning finish the corn up there, and then come here, spray the corn, spray the beans, keep that moving. So, anyway, that's where we're at. Done with this one. Now we got to jump across the road. We've got 15 acres to do over there in our Creek Flats field. It actually has some elevation change, unlike the rest of these fields. Trick here is getting across the road. See that little fire hydrant over there? Yeah, we don't want to hit that. I'm going to attempt to do this without folding the planter up. I don't know if it's possible or not. We'll get ourselves into a sticky situation and then figure out how to get out of it, if indeed we can't. But what I've learned before is that if I try and cross the road straight across with the planter folded, I will bottom it out. So if I leave it unfolded, I won't have that problem. This is a fairly busy road, but we've got a clearing. We're going to miss that pole. We're going to go right over that culvert, drain, catch basin, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to have to miss our driveway a little bit so that we miss that fire hydrant. I'll bounce her through the ditch here. I think we're good. Yeah. All right. Well, let's do it. This is an odd-shaped field. It's a real pain in the butt. No straight sides on it. So this is the first time that I've planted all of these fields at Berkey here with this 24-row planter, because we had wheat in them last year. So the year before they were beans, and the year before that when we did have corn, we still had the 16-row. So this field here, you can see the shape of it there. We've got well over half the field done just in the 2 perimeter passes around the outside. That's crazy. 8.15 acres. I'm trying to remember if there's 13 or 15 in this field, but either way, we're half or more. So we'll finish her up here. There's a wet spot right there. I think we got a broken tile. That one's always wet, even in the dry spot, the dry spells. That's wet. Yep. that one went fast. Cool. Well, we are done for the day. We've got our 3 or 4 acres to do for the plot yet. I gotta look and see. I know we've got enough 2x2 fertilizer because there's 75 gallons or so in that front tank. The back tank is totally empty, so we can drop that for the plot. But I don't know if we have enough in furrow in the planter to do what I want to do. I need like 15 gallons. We have some back at the farm in that tank. I mean, this was full when we came over here, so do I have to run all the way back there to put 15 gallons of fertilizer in my planter, or do we plant the plot without it? Or maybe we have enough in there. I don't know. We'll see when we get back. We're going to jump back across the road, go park this over by where the plot's going, and I guess I'm going to take my pickup and the seed tender home. I had thought about driving that field cultivator home tonight so we could use it in the morning, but then my pickup would be stuck here and I have no way to get back to get it. So, yeah, we'll take the truck and come back tomorrow for the equipment. We're going to go ahead. Oh, yeah. Oh, we've got plenty in there. Okay, good deal. I just couldn't see it, so it was hard to tell, but there's 50 gallons in there at least. Excellent. All right. We're going to drop our back tank. I don't like that hooked up when we're planting plots because it's too hard to get through back here. So we're just going to get it unhooked. We're going to leave it right here because I'm not even going back to the farm. We'll have everything ready to go for in the morning. All right. Tank's back there. We're ready to go in the morning. So that's what we've got to do yet. There's 4 planter passes there. We're going to put 16 varieties in this plot. And that's it. So we're just going to leave it sit here. Like I said, Tony's going to be here early in the morning. We're going to do it first thing, and then we're going to get stuff moved back. Hopefully I can find somebody, whether that's Dad or Brock, to come down with me and drive that field cultivator back to Waldron and go work the 30 acres that we've got to do, 36, so that by the time we get back with the planter, we can just go plant it. But we'll see about that. So anyway, I'm going to look in the seed tank, see how much seed is in there. We shouldn't have much. But we they're not empty. I know they're not empty. So anyway, I think we're good here. Go ahead and take the key. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about this blueprint powder that we were using. This is, it doesn't even say what it is on here. It's an AMF. It's a mycorrhizal fungi. You can see the official scientific names right there. Here, concentrated fine powder mycorrhizal inoculant effectively inoculates plants with vigorous endomycorrhizal fungi. Mycorrhizal inoculation by application of blueprint products improves plant nutrient uptake. Okay, well, there you go. Anyway, we're testing this stuff. If it works, great. If not, oh well. It's a little bit hard to use in the sense that it's very expensive on a per acre basis, and you have to get your rates just right. Like, don't leave that there. Like, you can't. So one packet's supposed to do 40 acres, right? Which is fine. 40 acres. But the problem is, like, I have variable rate seeding, and it's got to stick to the seed, and you got to get just the right amount on. And what if, you know, like with beans, where one box, you're supposed to put 1 packet per box. Well, what if my box plants, 35 acres instead of 40, or 45 acres instead of 40? Then your rates are wrong, and when it's, I don't remember what the cost is, $15 an acre, something like that. It's too expensive to not get your rates right and to be messing with that. And so I'm not crazy about it, but I did want to test it. I really like the source. I do think that works. I think there's some merit to it. I know not everybody has had as much luck as I have with it, but I have made that product work. This is from that same company. They think there's a symbiotic relationship between those two products, and that's what we're going to test. So out here, we're going to do that nitrogen reduction trial, but we're also going to do a source with blueprint with a fulvic acid, with less nitrogen. I don't know. There's 2 different specific protocols they wanted me to do. We've got plenty of room to have it. And then we have the no blueprint on the far side there. And so we'll see what kind of a difference we see. We probably don't have enough in that, enough untreated to really get a no blueprint with source and a no blueprint, no source try a lot of those. That's why it would have been nice to plant a little bit more before we ran out of seed. If I would have been planting ahead, of course Dad had just finished the field anyway, but I could have planted some before I finished this other field. Whatever, it is what it is now. We're gonna go stop back at the farm just to make sure the doors are all closed up and everything's put away. I'm debating leaving the seed tender here. I'm done with it. I don't have any more boxes of corn. I don't really need it back to Waldron. We could use it for some beans, I suppose, but don't need it. Do I have more barn space here than there is the question. And at the moment, the answer is no, but we could make it fit in the barns down here. We might leave it here. That's going to be it for this one. Yeah, we left the tender in the barn. We're going to have to get down here at some point and get a bunch of empty boxes taken back. We got to get a seed tender. We've got 3 empty shuttles and a half full one up there. And I'm going to have plenty of in-furrow starter stuff this year. We might use it through the rain machine later in the summer or early summer here, late spring. We'll maybe do some tissue testing, see what we need, and if we need phosphorus and potassium, I have something that can get that to them. So anyway, thanks for watching today. Feels good to be almost done. We're gonna finish planting corn tomorrow. Hopefully Phil made some progress. I should check my John Deere app and see. And we're getting closer. We're getting closer. Feels good. So thanks for watching. Have a great night. Hit that like and subscribe button. Go check out the live stream if you missed that. We'll see you in the morning.